Hello. I think Peach's argument doesn't work for me. It's going to sound like a very cliche libertarian analogy, but imagine that you're living in a territory run by a very bad group, like a biker gang or a mafia. Now imagine in this instance, Peach used to be an accountant for the mafia. Like she wasn't a soldier, like she didn't shoot people, because this particular mafia shoots people a lot, does a lot of nefarious things. And then the mafia has a good PR campaign, so there's people supporting the mafia everywhere, right? And then somebody like Cassie Dill makes a "Why I don't support the mafia soldiers" video, and then you're like, what? How can you complain? You live in this area, you live in this territory. Therefore, when the mafia, does violence, you're responsible, because we're all a part of the mafia. Everyone who's born in this area. Even if some people could argue that only a small percentage of people are only actively in it, you're just as responsible, because you live under the mafia, so what the mafia does, you do too. So, yeah. That's what it looks like to me. See, because there's society and government are two different things. There's society, and then there's government, which is a part of it. Because only like a small percentage of people are government, or make up the government. Not everyone is government. The only people in government are people who are actively, state employees. So it's like you're actively supporting, the state. You're actively in the state. So it's easier that you can be held responsible more for what the state does, because you're in the state's military. Now you could argue that if there's an industry that's nationalized, that they can't be held responsible for what the state does, even if they're technically state employees. So in this instance, we're talking like the part of the state that enforces the state's edicts. They can be held responsible for supporting that structure by being a part of it. So it's an active part of it. So I was born in Kansas, but I can't be blamed, for the United States government interning Japanese citizens. I think it's just disturbing that to think of it. We're all some amorphous we. Like there's no independence. Like you can't be a sovereign citizen. You can't. We're all America. I don't like that. It's just. I don't want to be. We're not a amorphous we. I don't think. I, as someone who isn't an active member of the state, can't be, I can't be held responsible for the evil things the United States government has done. So it doesn't make sense. So it's like, if there's like some kind of street gang that goes around, blowing stuff up and shooting people, they can be held responsible for doing, like imagine this case, someone's helping them out a little bit by cooking food or something. They can be held responsible for them going on and blowing up stuff. But their victims, if those victims just happen to live in the same neighborhood this gang lives in, they can't be blamed. They can't be like, hey, you live in the Crips territory. We're all part of the Crips here, so you can be blamed too. See, that's the problem. That's why, the book, I don't have it, it's over there. Actually, I can possibly, no, I don't have it. It's buried in there. It was John Stuart Mill's On Liberty. But basically, he talks about the downside of democracy is that people seem to think that government is everything, that we're all the government, which he argues leads to tyranny and such. So I recommend buying or getting a hold of On Liberty by Mill. You don't even have to read the whole book. The first 14 pages get the idea across that we are not the government, and we're not a we. We're each individual people with our own aims. There's no collective guilt. It almost makes you worry that you're one of those people who would think that I, as a white person, have to feel guilty about slavery. I didn't own slaves, so I don't feel guilty. Simple as that. You know, I didn't lynch anyone, and I didn't give money or physical aid to anyone who's ever lynched anyone. So I shouldn't at all feel guilty about things white people have done in the past. Just the same way I shouldn't feel guilty about the things that the United States government has done in the past. Because I don't support those things, and I'd never actively given aid to any of those things without... Well, I paid taxes, but that was without my consent. So I may have given physical aid to the state, but there was no consent involved. So it's like, you know, if the mafia extorts money from the restaurants in the area, they still can't be held responsible because they were coerced. So you get what I'm coming at. Your argument doesn't really fit. It doesn't really convince, or it doesn't convince me. You'd have to be very collectivist, I suppose, for it to work. That's basically my thing. The argument sounds like this: I help these people, but you live near these people, so we're both in the same boat. No, it doesn't work like that. And I can't think of how to put it a different way, and I've already put it the same way, like a bunch of different ways, and I'm probably boring the heck out of people, so I'm just going to end it here.